Hello everyone, this is Debbie from Ink and Page, and I am very excited to welcome you to the first day of Winter Wonder for 2025, and this is called Winter's Heart. I'm going to get into the actual printables and what we're going to be doing today and all of that in just a minute. I just want to take a moment to talk to the new folks. If you have never done a project with us before and you would like to participate in this, all you need to do is go down in the description below and sign up. I run the whole situation through email, so basically you'll just get an email every day with a video link and a link to download your printables. The same situation works on a weekly basis for the rest of the year when I do release free ephemera on Monday, and we usually do a monthly project that incorporates all of that. So if you're new and you want to participate, just hop down there, sign up, and you can get everything that I'm about to show you. I did want to take a second and just briefly show you guys what we made last year in case you did not participate. This project is still available for you to do if you want it. The videos are out there, the printables are out there. So you can still grab those if you want. If you have trouble finding them, you can either ask in the Facebook group or you can message me. Your best bet is to message me on Etsy, because sometimes the emails go awry and end up in spam. And then, you know, I do check on the regular, but I don't check every day. So if you're in a hurry, you want to get me on Etsy. Okay, so there was a topper on this. We did, you know, a waterfall. We did a little library pocket here. We did a bunch of little projects throughout it's almost 2 weeks of crafting we're going to do here to make a journal. But I did want to give you an idea of the project that we're going to be doing. I know a lot of people, this was their first journal they ever made last year, the first time they ever sewed anything, and they just basically took a leap of faith and they did this project with us. And I could not be more proud of you guys. You have turned Ink and Page into a community of makers who just continually surprise me with the creativity and the just beauty of all of the things that you're making and posting in the Facebook group. It's just amazing. I mean, sometimes it brings tears to my eyes. I can't believe the projects that you guys are putting together, and I am so grateful to Erin as well, who is our Facebook moderator, who keeps everything in line over there, and, you know, just enables me to have a Facebook group, because as you know, like, this is a time-consuming process to make all these printables, and I certainly could never do it alone. So you guys have a minute, you could say thank you to Erin for just keeping things in line over there. But anyway, the reason I'm doing this, the reason we do this event, is because I wanted to have a way to express my gratitude to you guys for just showing up every week, for watching the videos, for doing the projects, for posting them in the Facebook group, for buying the kits from my Etsy shop, which enables me to continue to do this stuff here. And, you know, it's not just buying stuff in the Etsy shop. You know, watching the videos helps. Everything helps. So, you know, but it just, all of those things come together to, you know, make all of this creating possible. And I am extremely grateful to you for that. I'm extremely grateful that, like, the job that I literally do is getting to make things every day. So I know that's a lot of talking, and I'm sorry. I will get into the printables in just a second. For this year's project, I would like to keep everything very project-based and try to go through this in a logical way, like how you would put together a journal if you were, you know, making a journal for yourself. You know, let's go through and just spend the next couple of days making a journal and figuring out, you know, all the steps that it takes to actually create something like this. And I think like I said, a lot of people did this for the first time last year, and they took a leap of faith and they were like truly surprised at what they accomplished. So I hope that you guys will do this again this year. I'm about to show you what we're doing this year. Like I said, the theme is Winter's Heart, and we have a completely different color palette for this year, a completely different kit. I wanted to do something this year that was kind of more of a, I don't want to say spiritual, but like, I feel like, you know, especially this time of year, things are very chaotic. So I thought it'd be nice to make something beautiful and soothing and just, you know, create something, you know, that is like a refuge. So here we go with the printables. Now, for this kit, I did make a one just completely page of lines that you guys can put on the back of anything you want. I made a complete page of like graph paper that you can put on the back of any page that you want. What I'm about to show you now are the journal pages. What we are going to do today is make our signatures. Tomorrow we are going to make our journal. Last year we did it a little bit differently. This year I want to make the journal up front, and then I want to make the things that go in it, and then we can kind of slowly add it as the week progresses, and then, you know, we'll have a finished journal by the end. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to start with the journal pages, and then I am going to show you the background pages. Okay, so I have a very Northern Lights inspired kind of color palette for this year, and I definitely wanted to evoke the idea of like journeying into like the heart of winter, journeying into like a quiet, still place. So we have some arches here, and of course some lovely candles, some lights on the trees, more candles. So there's a variety of there's a bunch of different pages. I didn't sort them really, but these are more of the illustrated pages. These are more of the like kind of like pages that have extra space on them for writing or, you know, collaging or whatever you want on there. We have a little sweet little house here. We have a lot of landscapes, a lot of beautiful florals, a lot of snow. I tried to kind of balance it because I know not everybody has snow right now. I personally do not have snow in December in Southern California, but I do like to pretend. I don't want to have real snow. I just want to have pretend snow. So this is where I'm having my snow, is in this kit. So I do have a few Christmas elements in here. And I just tried to mix it up so that there's something in here for everybody. Lanterns here. And a lined page of florals. There's 18 journal pages in this kit. So basically what I'm thinking is 3 signatures, 6 pages each. And then another lined one here. This one is like a note page with a little lantern, a Christmas like ornament that has like a foresty scene in it, a moon, more florals there, a sleigh, a candle. We have another lantern, moon, a lit path here. You'll see this motif throughout here because I really love that. We have a pretty stag here, and a window, some bells. Okay, and that's all of the journal pages. This is why it goes like this. And now I'm going to show you the background pages. Okay, these two are actually included in the folder with the background pages, or the grouping with the background pages if you get the PDF. Okay, so I believe there are around, I'm not 100% sure, but I think there's about 30 of the background papers. Let me show you those now. I already printed mine. These are actually the papers that I'm going to be using for my journal, so I'm kind of like, they're doing double duty tonight. I'm showing them to you, then we're going to use them. Okay, so I have like a watercolor canvas. I have this kind of silvery grunge. I did try to put light papers in here. I know I'm super bad at it, so, but we have like kind of more of a, kind of like a snowy storm here. Some flowers with some snow. Since we're in a magical realm, we can have both flowers and snow. Another landscape. It's some more beautiful leaves here. This sparkly kind of abstract situation here. This is like a tapestry, so it's like woven. It's super pretty. Another like kind of like, this is like definitely a background paper, a layering paper, that sort of thing with touches of gold on it. And then we have like a, you know, wintry leaves here. And I have a purple flourish. And then we have this kind of golden cloud situation. Like a marbled paper here. And this, like, how amazing is this, right? It's just like a kind of like, just like a view right into like our, you know, our winter forest. I did a giant floral because I know some folks really like those, especially for end papers. Another grungy one here with a little purple and a little gray. Another snowstorm for you guys, but this one's a little bit gold. There's some gold leaves. This one, not really snowy, more golden. So in case you're less into the snow there, another flourish here. Some beautiful florals. Another woods here. And these are like some more engraved florals here. I did another one of these like candlelit path situations here. I thought these would be good for the center of signatures. So, some trees. More flowers. And a very light kind of flourishy situation. And just some more flowers. Okay, so those are the journal pages, okay? And that's what we're going to be working with today. Every day you're going to get new printables that specifically pertain to the project that we're going to be working on, okay? And so today we're going to be working on signatures. So I'm going to grab a couple of extra things off to the side here because I wanted to make some suggestions for other things that we could include in our signatures. I went around my craft room and I just picked out a bunch of funky stuff. Okay, so this is some ledger paper that actually belonged to my dad, and I saved it out of his office when we were cleaning it out. And so what I want to do is include some of this in mine. I was trying to think of, you know, like just random kind of special things that I could include. So I found this. I think I'll include that in there. I found some pearlescent paper. Some vellum, some music paper. These are just suggestions. I would just look around and see what you have. I have some brown paper here. I have a pack of these cards that I got in a mystery box. And they're ivory. And I thought maybe I'll either use the envelopes or the cards in my signatures. Just to have, I like to have like things that are different sizes as we go through it. So I have a brown paper bag here. I have some of this funky snow netted stuff. I have some embossed paper here as well. And it's white on one side, gold on the other. So I'm considering this as well. I have a couple more paper bags there. I have a piece of this like gigantic doily. There might be two here actually. I have two pieces of this. So I'm not sure how this can be incorporated, but you know what? I grabbed it. And I have a paper bag, a couple of smaller, I think these are glassine, little bags. And then I have like a couple pieces of scrapbook paper that also came from a mystery box. And this is $49 at Market. And I thought maybe these two colors might work. The other sides are more intense. So I don't know what I'm going to use out of this, but we're going to see. I just grabbed a pile of stuff and I thought, you know, I'll just have this next to me and I'll make my signatures and then I'll figure out if I want to use any of it at all. Or I just want to use the pages or what have you. So what I thought we would do now is I'm going to make my signatures right now. And that way you guys can kind of get a look into how that's going to go. There's not a lot of science to it, I will admit, but people ask all the time about how to make signatures. So I figured, why not just do it? Okay, so basically what I did is I took the 18 journal pages and I printed background papers on them. Okay, so basically I have all of my papers double-sided. Okay, if you don't want to double-side it, that's fine. You can always either collage on the back sides of them if you don't want to do that, or you can paint, stencil, stamp. In fact, one of the things I was going to suggest is to get like a little basket and just pull together like a few items that you might like to use on this kit. Like if you have a die that you like or stamp that you like that's, you know, seasonal, you might want to grab that. If there's just anything that you want to include in here, I would grab that. All right, I'm going to fold these really quick. I'll speed up the folding and then we can go through and figure out how to assemble these. Okay, I have folded all my papers, picked out what I wanted to use. In addition to the pages that are in the kit, and this is all 18 of the journal pages, I have the vellum, I have 3 envelopes, I have 3 pieces of the pearlescent paper, 3 ledger pages, and then I cut the music pages down, and they are still very fragilely attached in the middle. So what I'm hoping to do is to sew them in attached like this. I may have to washi tape a little bit on there, but that's fine if I have to do that. It'll help just to help hold everything together. So I'm going to put 1 of these in each signature. Actually, these ones seem more sturdy, so I think I will keep these 3 here. Okay, so I'm going to put these in my signatures, and I'm going to have the paper folded all different ways. I am probably going to take this paper here and turn it into, like, because it's too tall, you know, I'll just fold the bottom pieces up for pockets. Okay, so let's talk about making signatures. My hope was not to make this video too long. I think I've already verged into the too long territory. Since I'm doing daily videos, my goal is to try to make them a little bit more concise than my weekly ones. So, okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is look through here and pick out the papers that I want on the outside of my signature. Usually that's going to be a background paper for me. I know I want this one for sure. Possibly this one. Yeah, because that one I want in the middle. I think I might pick these 3 for my outside of my signature. This is a good candidate too. This is a good candidate. Oh, this is also a good candidate. It's a hard call on these. What's in the middle of this? Alright, I'll go with this one, I think. That was my first instinct, so I'm going to go with my first instinct. Okay, now that I have these 3 picked out, I'm going to pick out the rest of my papers. Now, the way I like to do this so that each signature is comprised of the same selection of papers, but that is just me. So if you're not interested in that sort of a situation, I'm not going to put the papers in the same order, but I am going to put 1 of each kind of paper in each signature, because that's just how I like my journals, and I think that we should all make our journals the way that we like them. You know what I mean? Okay, so now what I want to do here is figure out what I want to do for my centerpieces. I'm pretty sure I want this to be one of them. Here. And this is this paper here. This also would have made a really pretty outside signature. So I'm going to put this in here. So this will be my center for this signature. And I want that other one that has this is basically what this whole thing is. I want this to be in the middle of another one. This is perfect with the candles on the back. So I'm going to put that one in this one. And then I need a center I just need to pick a center for the other ones. And I'm not sure yet what I want to do for that. I love this one so much. I think I want that one to go with that one. I do really like that one too. Although okay, so I think I'm going to put alright, I'm going to put this floral in the middle of this signature here. I'm having it's a hard call on this one for me. Okay, so if I move it around, if I feel like it, I'll move it around later, you know, but okay, so basically what I'm going to do now is just kind of sort these into signatures based on probably some arbitrary thought that like I have like about like how do I want to balance out the colors, like do I want to have this guy in this signature because it's got more light colors, or do I want to put it in this signature to balance out light colors over here? So that's kind of like what I'm thinking about when I do this, like how can I make a good variety, you know, where do I want to have certain papers. So I'm just going to basically, and I also want to vary, like some of them are journal papers and then some of them are background papers. So I want to vary which way things go as I'm putting these in so that I have all like different looks, you know, as we flip through the pages. So I'm just going to flip them back and forth, and I'm just going to add them in here, just kind of however they go. And I'm hoping to get, ooh, this would be perfect for this one. Yeah, this would be perfect for this here. And then I'm just going to keep working until I have 6 in each one. I did forget to mention, and I'll try to put this on the screen, that I printed everything on cardstock for this project because I'm only going to put a few pages in each signature. I figure that will be good for this project. I generally like paper. Sorry. I generally like paper in my journals, but that's only if I'm going to write on them. If I'm going to craft on them, I'm going to lean more towards cardstock. So, and we're going to be doing crafting on these. So, let me see how this is going to look in here. Oh yeah, that'll look nice. And then once I have them in like their specific signature, I can look through and see if they need to be rearranged. Okay, so this one needs 2. What do I want to do here? I like that, like that. we could do this and that would look good. I think I want, okay, so this could be 6. Okay, and then this one's gonna go in the last one here. I'm just gonna take a, yeah, okay. All right, so now we have 6 in each one. I'm going to add in my vellum, and I'm gonna add these in randomly into each one. I don't need the order to be the same, I just need the composition to be the same. So it's my own little quirk. I think I might be leaving that paper out because I feel like I have enough. I feel like my signatures are getting too big. And that's kind of a situation where you'll just feel if it's too big. You know what I mean? If it's not too big for you, then it's not too big. Just see what happens. But like, I was trying to keep these manageable. I'm not super great with the word manageable, so we'll see. Oh yeah, let's put this right here. And then since we're not going to bind this until tomorrow, I'll have overnight to kind of think about it and see how I feel about it. Okay, so I have those. I did want to I wanted to add some envelopes in here too. There's one right there. What I'm looking is to kind of add some stuff between the actual pages that are all different sizes and shapes. Let's go with this way with this one, so that there's some variety in here. Look at that. Signatures made. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is probably fold these back into the journal. I'm going to decide on that. But overall, this is basically where you want to be before tomorrow's video. I'm ahead of you guys, so I'm like trying to like calculate like which day it is. But so tomorrow's video, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take these and we're gonna bind these into our cover, which we're gonna make tomorrow as well. So those files you'll get tomorrow, and then basically what you're gonna need for tomorrow is a pokey tool to poke holes in stuff. You're going to need a needle of some sort and some type of thread. I generally use waxed thread for mine, but you can use any type of thread that you have. I'm hoping actually to see if I have any purple. So that's probably what I'm going to use. If I can dig out some purple thread for tomorrow. Otherwise, it will be this one because this is my favorite one. Okay, so I'm going to flip through this signature really quick so you can see it, and then we will be done for today. And then I will see you guys tomorrow for day 2, where we're going to basically be making the cover. And then the real fun starts, because then we're going to start filling it up with ephemera, and I have a bunch of fun projects planned for us. I've been working on this for a while, which is good because that advent bookcase took me like a week longer than I planned in my schedule. So it's good that I had this, already in the works, but this is fun for me. So that's the other amazing thing about this, is that you guys love doing these projects, and it's so great for me because that means I get to do projects too. So I just love having that ability, because one of the things before I had my YouTube channel is that I just did a lot of Photoshop, a lot of working by myself, and not so much getting to make things. So getting to make things is just seriously dream come true. There's that. I'm going to turn these into bottom pockets. I also need to think about, do I want to add any ink, stamping, paint, stenciling, or anything like that to any of this stuff before I bind it. I know some people like to decorate their pages and then bind it, which is fine. If you want to do it that way, you could totally do it. I could never do that because things would be flying everywhere, and I just couldn't do it. So I'm going to go ahead and bind mine ahead of time. I have put whole journals through sewing machines, so it can be done if it needs to be. But, sewing is literally the least important part of journal making for me. I know a lot of people do a lot of it, and they are much more patient souls than me, because I get so frustrated with that thing when it jams. So here we go. Here's this. Yeah, this gives you kind of a look at how things are going to look when you are going to have your journal. So it's good to flip through it like this and kind of get a feel for it, see if you like it. Like, I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, so I have these blank pages now, so I know, okay, you need a plan for that, and what I could do is glue something to the back of this, which I may do, and I'll show you tomorrow if I do. One of the fun things about last year's journal is I just kept sticking things in it and messing around with it for the, for the whole month of December, and probably January too, just because it was a nice thing to have, just to do a little creative work in. There's that guy. Some of these I really, really love. I hope you guys are into this. I know it's a lot of purple. I'm sorry. Sometimes things take a life of their own, when you're making them. So those are my 3 signatures. I hope you guys are looking forward to doing the rest of this project, and I will see you tomorrow with a whole new set of printables and a whole new project, which is going to be making the cover. So I will see you then. Thank you so much for joining me.